Hey everyone, and welcome to this asset creation mini-series? I guess that's what this is. Basically, I wanted something that's a bit more light-hearted and not as intense as the devlogs, where I just go through the process of making some of the assets for Cellfish. In this video, we're going to be going through the creation of the landing sound effect. When it comes to designing a game, the thing you're actually aiming for is immersion. You want people to connect with the world and feel the things you want them to feel. And there's a whole lot that goes into that, but a really big part of that is what you hear. When you hear things, there's a bunch of extra context that you get from something. Like if we end up with a low detail art style, it's difficult to understand what exactly our cell is. But if we hear the sound of it whacking into a wall, we can get a bit more context for what it actually is, which is why sound effects are really important. Normally, when it comes to the editing stage, I do a lot more work than I ended up doing in this video, but the landing sound effect didn't really need much more, so this was a really good one to just show the process, because it's nice and quick. Before I actually get into the video though, I wanted to say thanks to all you guys for the support that I got on the last video. I was not expecting almost 150 views within the first few days. That is absolutely boggling to my mind, but thanks a lot. Also, I wanted to say that I was really stupid. I didn't even mention the itch.io page in the last video. Basically, if you don't know what itch.io is, it's a website that hosts indie games and people can check out the whole development process from there. Basically, I'll add like written devlogs and stuff there as we're busy with the game, and you can actually download the game from there once it's actually completed enough to download. Yeah, so links in the description, links also in the description of the other video. Yeah, I just thought I should mention it here since I didn't mention it there. If you haven't checked out devlog 1, then you can just check it out here in the top right corner. So yeah, let's get into the video. Basically, the process is really simple. First, I'll think about what sound I want to make. In the case of the landing sound effect, I want a real jelly, gooey sound. Imagine slime hitting a table or something like that. That's the sound I want. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to head out and find a bunch of random items to make a sound with. I'll edit it to make it all nice and clean, and then I'll show you what it sounds like in game. Let's go. Okay, hey everyone, and welcome to Isard's Kitchen. I've gathered a few things that I think can make the impact sound effect. I've got myself a good old roll of tissue paper, got myself a scrunchie, a big old sponge, we'll see what it does, and I've got myself a bottle here. So I'm going to start off with this car washing sponge. Okay, so here we got it. By itself, it makes quite a solid impact noise. What I'm hoping is after I wet it, it'll make a far more squidgy, gooey sounding effect for a cell landing. Okay, so I got it here, it's got a bit of water in it, and we're gonna see what it sounds like. Okay, so it ended up sounding a lot softer than I thought it would. It's not got as sharp of an impact as I would have hoped for. So let's give the next thing a try. Next up we got this water bottle. This one I was going for something really simple, just thinking that if I move all the liquid to one side and then and if I do that hard enough, hopefully we can end up with something. That one was closer to the sound effect I want. It had a lot more high-pitched noises in there, but the issue is that it was a bit too bubble sounding. It sounded a lot more like liquid and a lot less like goo. The next thing we're going to try is the scrunchie. Obviously it doesn't make that much noise by itself, but maybe if I wet it we can get something. Okay, let's give it a shot. It had the right sound, but it was very soft, so I don't think that'll work. The noise will probably drown out the actual sound effect that I want. So then the last thing that we have is the tissue paper. I'm very confident in this one. I think this is probably going to be our winner. Okay, so I got myself some tissue paper here, and I'm just going to wet it. It's now wet. Something that's very important for this, I think, is that you don't squish it, because it's that releasing of the air bubbles that's going to make the noise we want. Here goes. Oh yeah, that sounds just about right. Let me bring you closer to hear this. Cool, so I think I got some really nice sounding effects. It's now time to head over to the computer and edit them into something that sounds really professional. We're here on my desktop now to actually clean up the audio a little bit. If you're not interested in this part, you can skip to the next chapter. I've got the chapter links in the description. So I've got here Audacity. It's a program for editing audio, and here's the file I recorded from my phone. I can just drag it into Audacity here. So here's the audio clip we have. I'm just going to play it for you guys. So as we can hear the sounds, but there's a little bit of a grainy fuzz behind it. We want to get rid of that fuzz. So what you want to do is you want to just select an open part. I'm going to take this part here, go to Effect, Noise Reduction, Get Noise Profile. Effectively, this will allow us to figure out what's the background noise and what's the noise we care about. After that, we can select all of it, go to Effect, Noise Reduction, and Apply. Now, if we listen to it again, you can hear that there's a lot less noise in the background. The next thing to do is select one of these clicks that sounds the best. So I'm just going to listen through the clip quickly and choose which one sounds the best. So I found this one, which I think is the cleanest sound. Now I've got just that piece of audio here in the front. It's important that they don't run on two different channels. The reason for that is in the game we want the sound effects to come from wherever we want it. If it's already coming from left and right, the engine doesn't know how to deal with that. So we're just going to go to Tracks, Mix Stereo down to Mono. Now it's merged those two tracks together so we can play that audio from wherever we want in the game. And there we go. That's our sound effect. Now we just need to export it. I'm just going to go File, Export. I'm going to do a WAV. Sure, cool. Save. I don't need to fill out any of that information. And fantastic. Now that that work's done, let me show you a quick clip of all of the sound effects in action. So that was the making of some of the sound effects for Cellfish. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you got something to say. Until next time, cheers.